Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's a very simple thing to do, but it really helps the channel out. So please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. All right, so let's continue here, and we want to be able to edit this properly. So if I click on the multiple choice question and click edit, you see that things are not as good. Let's compare this to the multiple choice add. So the only real difference is that we have this multiple choice section down here. Otherwise, everything is pretty much the same. So let's fix this real quick. Now the advantage is that we have separate files for each of these, and so it's just a matter of editing the correct file. So on the add question, we have, if you click on the test tab add question, you see there's this section here where we have if the type is multiple like this. So this is the part that we really need. So we need to get this up to the end if of it right here. So get all that, the entire if statement. And let's open the edit version of things. And then down here we have the if it's objective, and then we have the back button here. So just before the back button, we must leave some space and paste our new content. So there we go. Yeah. So if it's multiple, then we'll have to make do with this. So it's going to default to this area right here because we don't have anything in our post variable yet. So let's come back here and try that. Okay, so down here it defaults to the default 2. But we already have some information to use here, so no need to put some dummies here. Instead, what we will do is let's delete the second one. Okay, so once we delete that, we already know what to do to get, let's come down here. So right here, I will put some PHP tags, and then I'm just going to say choices is equal to JSON decode. Okay, so encoding is when you want to transfer the information. Decoding is when you have received the information and want to use it. So think of this as a the way you have a digital satellite TV decoder. So that thing decodes information from where it receives it. So which means the transmitter is actually encoding the information, and then once it reaches your decoder, the decoder will decode the information to use it in your TV. So encoding is for transmission, decoding is for use. So when you're encoding to transmit, you always send the data into a string, so from an array to a string. But when you're decoding, you're getting from the string and converting that string to an array. So in our case, we're converting to a string so we can save in the database. But now we are converting back from a string into an array so we can use this. So of course the source is the question, so question choices like that, because of course that is the correct column name. So once we have choices over here, all we need to do now is to use a for each loop. So of course, more PHP tags, and let's do a for each, and let's say for each choices as, again, we do need the key, so maybe instead of key we can say letter, and then let's do that pointer to answer. Oopsie, too many of those. Okay, great, we are doing very well. What have I just done? I should have clicked the tab key there. So we have an end if here. Let's just duplicate that one and push it inward for a second and change it to an end for each, like this. Okay, cool. So now it's just for us to see if it's going to have at least 4 of these guys repeated, then we know we're in business. And if I refresh, you see there's 4 of them. Is it 4? Why 3 though? Wait a minute, let's go back to the question. Oh, there's actually 3 of them, so that's correct. So 3 of them, it means we're in business. So all we need now is to add the proper letter here. Instead of this, let's put our letter like so. And then let's go in here and put our answer as well. So let's look at this. So let's copy this and let's put our answer. So where do we put the answer? So there's a placeholder here. We need to add a value and put our answer there, like this. So let's see how that works. Refresh, and there we go. But we have one slight problem though, and then that problem is the naming, because all of these so far are simply choice 0. So we don't want that. What we want instead is to make this number, let's do that. We're going to add a variable called num, which is going to help us to add the letters. So right here, I could, while I'm here, I could just say num is equal to 0. That should work because it's inside the PHP tags. I wanted to actually add here, but let me just add some more PHP tags here and just add something like num++. Now I could have added the num here, but we need that choice 0 as well to begin with, so we'll use that instead. So back here, I'm going to refresh this page and I'm going to inspect the element. So inspect, and let's come down here to look at the choices. So we have choice 0, that's okay. Then choice 1, that's good. And then we have choice 2. So things are working as intended. The only problem is we don't have the correct answer thingy here that is showing. So let's see how we can begin to fix that. So this one is inside this input here for correct answer. Let's move that label down here so we can clearly see what's really going on out here. So one time here, let me move this one here. Okay, so this is a radio button here, and all we need is to tick the correct place here once things are working well. Now we can copy from what we did up here because this is a similar system, right? There's this part here that echoes, let's see, what does this say? If letters num, okay, so that letter at that point is equal to correct answer, then checked, otherwise no. Okay, so this is all we need. I'm going to copy this and bring it down here. So I can put it anywhere really, as long as it's inside the angle brackets here. It will know to echo that checked when we are supposed to check. So what exactly are we looking for? So there's letter here, which is the current letter. So we don't need to put the num at this point because we are looping through these choices anyway. So we don't need that. We just need to know the current letter. If it's equal to the correct answer, excuse me. Now, of course, post isn't here at this point, so we can't use that. So we'll have to go dig deeper into, where is this? Into question, because there's only one correct answer per row. So I'm just going to paste this, but this is an object. So let's do the pointy thingy and remove these brackets like so. And yes. So right about now we have a good working if statement. So if letters, actually it's letter, not letters. So if this current letter, which we are putting here, which could be A, B, C, D, if that is equal to the question, which is the row of the question, if it's equal to the correct answer, then this is the right place to be. So I'm going to refresh, and you see the middle answer is selected, which is exactly the same one we selected here. So clickety-click, and there we go. Yeah. So now if we do save this information, we should be back to square one. So now I just want to go to the let's go to the controller this time, because we want to see what saving is like. So this is single test, right? And if we come to add question and we go down here, there's the question model, of course, and everything else. But let's look at this section right here, where if things are inside the multiple choice. So this in the adding is exactly the same as in the editing. Ultimately, it's the same. So I'm just going to copy this up to here, copy this entire if statement. Now, when you're repeating code like this, it would be a good idea to put it inside a function, but hey, there's no need to do that for us, since this is just some test. Let's see, check the question type. This is the correct place, isn't it? Isn't it? Where are we? Okay, so question type there, goody, goody, goody. Okay, so we're in the right place after all. So type is equal to that. I have no idea what this is. I've completely forgotten. But regardless, let's paste our information there. So we now have this version of events type multiple, and then we add the question type. These are the multiple choices, and then we add everything we need, and then choices, blah blah blah. And that should work actually. So let's see that in action. Let's save. Let me change this a answer. What's the question really? What are the young goats called? So since B is the correct answer, we'll say kids, right? They're called kids, and let's save. Okay, so we saved, and wait, did things work out or not? And you see it edited, right? Kids, but the correct answer is A, which is not really what we are looking for, right? Okay, so no problem there. Let's fix those errors in the next video.